Whoops.
What?
I made a mistake.
What'd you do? You didn't run the song.
I lost the chat.
Ah.
Song's done. All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome to your Nintendo Enthusiast Class vs. Crass Nintendo podcast. I'm your host, Jason Lapine, and joining me, as always, Sean Long.
Hello.
Recovering here. Hang on. I'm just adjusting the chat because I did some crazy stuff here. All right. Happy Sunday, everyone, and it's good to be back. It's been so long. I think it's since E3, which means we have a ton of new stuff to talk about. But if this is your first time joining us on Class vs. Crass, usually the format of the show goes like this. We go over what we've been playing over the past week. Then we go over the major headlines in Nintendo news. And finally, we do the lightning round. That's where we take your questions and topics and we discuss them. So, what have we been up to over the last month after E3? Nintendo Enthusiast has a brand new website that we can talk about. Sean and I met for the first time, which might explain why we've been off the air for so long. It took a little bit of time to recoup from that. And we got tons of new stuff to talk about. Right?
We do.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me get my coffee. You talk.
So what have I been playing? Is that where we're going? Well, I played Ocean Horn. I reviewed that on the site. Really fun game, honestly. I really liked it. More so than I thought I would. I've also been playing, lately I've been playing Implosion, which is just released on the eShop on Thursday. Fantastic game.
Which one?
It's called Implosion. It's a hack and slash game. It's essentially like if Metal Gear Revengeance, which was made by Platinum, was an indie game. You know, it had like a smaller budget, but like it looks really good. It plays really good. The voice acting is really top notch. I'm really impressed with the game. I'm having a hell of a lot of fun with it.
It's awesome.
Definitely a top tier indie. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it.
I've discovered a new top-tier indie, but it's not on Nintendo platforms, and it probably won't ever be. And that is Ori and the Blind Forest, which I was playing earlier today. Just an amazing game. It's a combination of a platformer and a Metroidvania. Have you ever played it?
No.
Okay. It's an Xbox exclusive. I can't say that. It's on Steam. It's not an Xbox exclusive. It's either on Xbox or Steam. And it's worth talking about because this thing is an amazing piece of artwork. The visuals are amazing. The music, which is what it's most known for, just beautiful. The story is really good. But the gameplay, which is something I feel nobody's really talking about, is just super, super tight. Like, you play this kind of like cat creature spirit thing, and just the way that you can jump around and the momentum and the way that it drops and like the subtleties in the game make it so good. Like when you jump off the ground, there's like a little bit of dust that comes off your character. The enemies, whenever you land a hit on them, you get like that shaking feeling, and the sound just like gives you that impact that like, wow, something's happening. So just an amazing game that I haven't played in a while. And I mean, everybody has been raving about it. And since there's a sequel that was announced at E3, I was like, yeah, I should check this out. But yeah, it's really great.
Yeah, I know that they announced the sequel to it. Yeah, I heard it's a great game and it looks really good.
Yeah, you could get it on Steam. It was on the summer Steam sale for like $10. So
maybe I'll get it on Rainway and then I can play it on my Switch.
There you go. You don't leave the house anyway, so that's perfect for you.
No, I was thinking if I left the house today, but I didn't.
Rainway is another thing we're going to talk about today. That was a big news story this month.
There's a lot of questions I have. Like I already made a video on it, but like even after I made the video, I thought of more questions that nobody's really asking. So we'll get into that.
All right, cool. And the other thing, my more Nintendo gaming sessions have been focused around Zelda Breath of the Wild this past week. So I've been playing through. I finally bought the DLC. I hadn't bought it before, and after seeing all the coverage on it, I couldn't resist. So I haven't been playing the master quests because the difficulty turns me off completely. I'm not interested in having a hard time with Zelda. The original was just the right difficulty. But I'm having a lot of fun just finding all of the new treasures like Majora's Mask, all that stuff, and trying to go through the master trials, which I haven't completed yet. And I'm actually finding myself like going back into the game and doing like I finished all the shrines months ago, but now I'm actually caring about Korok seeds again, and I want to finish like all the side quests. And I'm actually looking at the map for places I haven't been thanks to that hero mode or whatever it's called, hero quest path. And I'm going to places just to unlock the name on the map because that also counts towards your completion. So I'm hooked again for a bit.
I haven't downloaded it yet.
No interest or what?
Interest, just, a lot of crap going on right now, so it's kind of like I won't be able to do it justice. I don't know. And plus, I mean, to me, it's kind of like I'm more interested in the second DLC, so it's like I can wait and then get both of them at the same time, and then it's like a whole freaking new game. So, yeah, that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Like, love the game, but I don't need the DLC right now. I've got other stuff I'm playing, including Vaccine.
Vaccine?
I wish I could review it on the site, but I can't.
Why is that?
Because I would overscore it.
It's plays to your weaknesses or what?
Yes.
Okay. What's it about?
I bought it. I bought it a week. It came out this past week on the eShop in America, but I bought it last week from the Japanese eShop because I watched, I think it was Nintendo Impact Gaming, did a video showing some gameplay, and I was like, what is this? This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I need it now. And then it was all in English, and I was like, yes. It's basically like if you took Resident Evil 1 and made it a randomly generated game. Randomly generated levels. So, so there's a clock at the top of the screen that's 30 minutes real time. And then you're in a room, and your partner is in a room, and he's dying, and you have to find the vaccine. So you leave the room, and then it's all randomly generated. So every time you play it, it's completely different. Like you're not memorizing where shit is or anything like that. Sometimes it sucks because sometimes you'll get a randomly generated layout and there's like no good, you won't find the shotgun or something like that and you'll be screwed. Sometimes it's golden because you'll find everything right away. Like it's just so much fun. And it looks like Resident Evil 1 on the PS1. It has the tank controls. It has really good music. And then once you find the vaccine, it's like in this weird room where there's this boss character. And so you got to think, well, should I try to fight him or should I just try to grab the vaccine and run? And then you run back and give the vaccine to your person, right? And there's also leveling up. So your character, every time you kill a bad guy, you level up. And you can choose what you want to level up, like your ability to have better stamina, so you run more, higher health and stuff like that. And after you get the vaccine once, you have to go back and play through it again. It starts it over again, but your character's leveled up again. So it's weird. It gets easier the further you get into the game. But like I just love the first time you play it because it's just so bare bones. Like you have nothing going for you. You have to find everything. Your character is a shitty level, and like it's so much fun. And it's not a great game. It might not even be a good game, but it's just like they were like, let's see what Sean Long would like to play. Yes, I believe this is it. And then they made that. Like I'm gonna go on Metacritic right now, and I guarantee you this game has terrible scores.
Go for it. I'm actually curious. And I don't know if this is more telling about the industry or us, but we've been doing this show for 2 years now. And I find that this year we've been really discovering a lot of roguelike games. You find that?
Yes, I do.
So is it just that we're discovering this genre, or is it that there's more of a mainstream push?
Becoming more popular.
Yeah?
That Goner game or whatever, it was a roguelike game.
Goner or Goner?
Goner, I don't know how to say it. So the game Vaccine has also come out on the Xbox One. It is sitting at a 48 on Metacritic.
Sorry, what? I was reading.
A 48 on Metacritic.
Oh my god.
The highest.
People don't like roguelikes. This is ridiculous.
It's just, I don't know. The roguelike elements are not a great match for the classic genre. The reliance on the player will have luck and having to deal with clunky controls, making it an easy game to put down. Bullshit. Do you know how many hours I've put into that game? Like, and every time I play it, like, I'll die. Like, I'll get really far and, like, I'll get into a shitty room and, like, I won't have any ammo or I'll die or something. I'll get so mad. Like, I'll just, and I'll go outside and smoke a cigarette. And then I just come right back to it. I'm like, let me try one more time. Like, it's so much fun. Like, it's so much fun. But there's no way in hell I could review it because I would overscore it. There's no scores on Metacritic right now for the Switch version, too. So I almost feel bad for Rainy Night. But I did do a video on RGT that got some decent views on it. So hopefully they sell some copies based off that because I love it, dude. I think it's fun as hell. Did you leave me?
I did. I'm sorry.
I didn't even know this. I was saying there's no Switch reviews for it on Metacritic.
I'll make one.
But no, I can't. I'll overscore it. Because I would give it a 7.5 or an 8.
Okay, that is not overscoring. This sounds like another roguelike, Has Been Heroes. Before my review went up on Metacritic, it was sitting at a 49 for the Nintendo Switch. And then my review comes out. I think I gave it an 8. And I actually brought it into the positive zone. I think it bumped it up to a 51. But
maybe you know what? I will do it. I'm going to do it.
7.5 doesn't sound crazy.
It's a damn good fun. It's a fun game. And that's what matters at the end of the day. If a game is fun.
Right. Yeah, because like the roguelike genre, I've never touched it before this year, and I've already played 3 now. One being Has Been Heroes, the other one Binding of Isaac, and the third one, which is it's actually an indie on Steam. It's called Everspace. They just launched last month, and if you're into flight sims, I really recommend it. It's you fly around in space, and there's actually a pretty cool story around it. You're trying to figure out like who you are, where you're from, or something like that. And yeah, you can either like harvest or mine asteroids, but there's also dudes to shoot. And then every time you die, you get to upgrade your ship with all of the money and the items you found. You can upgrade your ship, and then you restart and you go through again. So every time you play, you actually go further, which is something I wish Has Been Heroes had a little bit more of. I feel Has Been Heroes doesn't really help you after you die. You just like, roll the dice again.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess Vaccine doesn't really help you either because it's not like you can really learn anything. I mean, maybe you can learn, like I will say that because you start out with a knife, and that's your one weapon. So I have learned from playing the game, over and over, like where to stand and how to kill, zombies so I don't get, without them hitting me and stuff like that. There's like these weird licker type creatures that are just pains in the ass. Like if you don't have a gun, you're probably going to get screwed by them. So, but I mean, you can also tiptoe around them and stuff. Lots of little nuances.
You made a sale for Leo's buying it because of you.
Good. I mean, if you like Resident Evil 1 or 2 and you like, classic survival horror games, the tank controls, the pre-positioned camera angles, it's a fun game. It's fun. It's hard. It's hard as hell, but it's fun. I can't say enough good things about it.
Arfin asks, how do you play Splatoon 2? Paint the floor.
Yeah. so like you get paint and you just like shoot it everywhere. And I think what was Vaccine? I think it's a $10 game.
That's probably not much.
Oh, I know it was 1,000 yen on the eShop, and I had to buy
$10, yeah.
I had to buy a Play Asia,
because it's not in the Americas yet. No, it is in the US.
Well, it is. It is now. It came out this past week, but when I wanted it, I wasn't gonna wait.
Awesome.
You know who made the game?
No, that's what I was looking for.
The people who made Freeze Me.
Really? That's
Yes.
very different. Freeze Me was that like N64 vibe one, right?
Yes. Very lighthearted and kiddie.
Yeah.
And then boom, they're like, all right, we'll give you the Mario, now we'll give you the Resident Evil.
This looks very PlayStation 1 era.
It does.
Yeah.
Like it is. But that's part of the charm to me.
Wow,
it's like
even the menus.
yeah. It's so much fun. Like
what is
I haven't
recently? Oh, I ended up buying Mighty Gunvolt Burst.
Oh yeah.
After visiting our friends here at Too Many Games and playing the demo there, yeah, I finally bought it. It's good.
I reviewed that. I think. Did I review that?
I don't know if you reviewed it.
I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure I gave it a good score. Where's the review?
Oh,
okay. It's not under recent
the site looks really nice, even when it's like collapsed. You get the side menu. No, I don't think you reviewed Oceanhorn, I think, or Ever Oasis. No, Oceanhorn. You didn't review it.
No.
Maybe on RGT.
No.
Anyways.
No.
Shall we talk about how we met?
Yes, but
right.
This is bothering me because I did review this game.
Okay, you look for that. All right, gather around, everybody, and we shall tell you how it went down, how Sean and I's initial encounter went down, because this isn't recorded. It was just him and I.
Piece of shit.
And it's a great story. I actually love it because I ended up stealing Sean's room, basically, and screwing him out of his hotel room and making him pay for it. So here's the story. So I show up in Philly about like 20 minutes before him. And I go in and I'm like, hey, I thought Sean was already here. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm here with a buddy. Can I check into the room? And they asked for my name. I said, well, it's not under my name. It's probably under Sean because Sean took care of all the reservations and everything. And they're like, yeah, we see the room. Can we get your ID? I was like, okay, but I'm not Sean. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. So I give them my ID. They enter the thing. They're like, is it okay if we charge it to the credit card on the account, which is Sean's credit card? I was like, yeah, that's fine. So they give me the 2 keys. So I take off. I go to the room. And then Sean comes up 20 minutes later, stuck in the lobby. They won't give him a key. They won't let him into the room. He's messaging me like, dude, are you already in the room? They won't let me in. I was like, oh yeah, I'm chilling in here. So I have to go get Sean in the lobby, give him his key. And like, I could have just spent the whole weekend there. At his expense, just charging everything to his credit card. It would have been amazing.
Well, you failed to mention that I'm trying to check in, and they're not telling me anything.
I didn't know
like, no reservation. Yeah. The little Asian dude that was at the counter, he's like, no reservation under that name. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Like, it is. And I pulled it up on my phone, and I was like, look, this is King of Prussia Motel 6, right? And he was like, yes, no reservation for Sean Long. And he was like, someone else with you? I was like, yeah, but his name isn't on anything. What's his name? I was like, it doesn't matter. His name isn't on anything. What's his name? I told him, and then he was like, oh, he already here in room with key. What? How?
If I would have been a bit more of a dick, I could have just stayed there for the one night to make it more of a funny story. And yeah, sorry if that is Master Blaster that I'm wearing. But yeah, other than that, it was good. We were actually pretty compatible for roommates for the weekend. Sean stayed on his bed playing games, and I stayed on my bed playing games. And we just blasted the AC and had our snacks on our beds. And yeah, we barely talked to each other, which was great.
It was literally 60 degrees in that room.
It was nice. It was like being in my igloo.
Yeah, I loved it. Mm-hmm. Nice, decent room. The con was phenomenal. So much fun. I
discovered Wawa. Sean introduced me to what Wawas are.
Jason also got pretty drunk.
We don't need to talk about
and
that.
Scared.
We don't need to talk about that. There was a tornado coming to the convention. And in Philly, I don't know if any of you guys are from Philly, they have these like war alarms that just like those old World War II movies where it's like, oh, they're coming to bomb us. And it goes like, and that was going off. So we're at a party waiting for an Uber. It's outside. It feels weird because like we're between storms. And then that alarm goes off like in the distance, like not that far, maybe if. And clearly we drank. So I'm like, what's that mean? What's that? And then some guy like pulls out his phone and he's like, oh, there's a weather system. There's probably a tornado coming. I'm like everybody was just so chill. I'm like, there's a tornado coming. There's these massive alarms blaring, and we're just all just gonna hang out here.
And then Ape and Eric runs outside. It's ISIS! It's ISIS!
Oh, I don't remember that part.
Oh God, that was hilarious. That was so. I'm not getting an Uber. I'm not dying in an Uber. I'm like,
what?
Shut up.
I said this?
Yes, you were so paranoid. I was like, you want to die outside? Like, you want to die in the lobby of the Hilton? Is that better?
That's a much better place to die than in an Uber. Mm.
Oh man.
Speaking of Uber, was it the first night? Yeah, it was the first night that we're.
Yeah, it was the first night.
So we leave. Our hotel was like 20 minutes away from, not maybe 15 minutes.
No. It was the second night.
Whatever.
It was the second night.
Whatever. 15 minutes away from the convention and also where all the parties were. So Sean calls an Uber to take us there. And the first night before, like, I was driving all the time. So I had a sense of where it was. And the Uber takes off in the complete opposite direction. And I can't use my phone to see anything because I have no data. I'm from Canada. And this guy, Sean, I'm like, Sean, are you sure we're going in the right direction? He's like, what do you care? Like, he's getting all snappy at me, and he's like, I'm the one paying for this. Just let it be. I was like, all right, just so you know, we're going in the complete opposite direction of where the hotel. And then he's just quiet in the car. And he's like, you can see like a little hamster like running in the wheel in his head. And he's like, then he asks the Uber, like, hey dude, are we actually going to this one? The guy's like, nope, going into like downtown Philly. Oh, and before all this, when he calls the Uber, like, it shouldn't be that much money. He's like, whoa, this thing's like $30 or $40. I was like, whoa, Uber's expensive here. He's like, yeah. And then, so of course, later we realized we were going to one that was like a half hour or 45 minutes away from the hotel, never thinking that, hey, maybe if it's so much money, we should look into this again.
I just thought because it was a Friday night, like, that's maybe like prime time, so it would be more expensive.
Yeah.
Because it ended up being like, I think $18 or $20 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that's the gist of our adventures.
It was a good time.
Yeah, we had a panel. So we did a panel, Nintendo Enthusiast Live, and you can actually find that panel over on Sean's channel, RGT85. It's 1 hour long. I don't think it's as good to watch online as it was in person. But we have a conversation at first where we just chat about the differences between being a Nintendo fan in the 21st century versus the 20th century. Yes. And then him and I play 1-2 Switch, and it's the first time Sean ever plays 1-2 Switch, so there's some pretty funny bits in there. And then Sean challenges the room to play some Street Fighter 2 against him on the Switch, and spoiler, he loses to the first guy.
Okay, I was a big fan. I wanted him to feel special.
Of course.
I mean, I had to put on a show.
Right. Of course, that's what it was. You were trying. I saw you try. So yeah, that was the gist of our. Oh, and then another fun thing at one of the highlights for me at Too Many Games was going to the how do you say this? Inti Create. The Inti Create panel with those are the guys behind this game, by the way, behind Blaster Master Zero, behind Mighty Number 9. Mighty Number 9. It's just Gunvolt, right? It's not Mighty Gun. Yeah, Gunvolt. All those guys. So the CEO had flown in from Tokyo to do this panel, and with another guy, I think his name's Matt, and we got to learn the whole history of the company. It's basically a bunch of ex-Capcom employees which broke away from Capcom in the mid-90s because they wanted to make their own games, and then for the longest time they had to do like contract work, so they worked on a lot of Mega Man games, but eventually the first game that they managed to make was Gunvolt, and it was like very well received. And it was just very insightful to see like how this company grew, and like now they're pumping out all these games for Switch, and like they have a very targeted audience for their games. It was just fascinating. They were very humble. It was very interesting stuff. And it was funny at the beginning because they had like a trailer that showed all of their games from like 1996 or whenever they were founded to today. And the first ones are very obscure games, so like most people didn't know it. And then Gunvolt comes up, or no, I think it was Mega Man Zero. Were the first games, and people were like clapping, and then Gunvolt comes up and people were like cheering and really being loud about it, and then it goes Mighty Number 9 and the crowd just goes like completely quiet, and it's like, yeah, and like really like slow clap, and the CEO just laughed it off, and then it goes like Gunvolt 2, and everyone's like, yeah, clapping and going crazy again. So that was good.
I'm sad I missed that panel.
Yeah,
I don't know what I was doing.
I think you were sitting in on a friend's panel.
Oh, I think Tony's panel was at that time.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah,
Stupid Tony.
any other highlights for you from Too Many Games?
The whole thing was great. Great time. Great train ride up. Great train ride back. So already looking forward to next year.
How'd you like your Switch on the train?
It's definitely not. It's definitely not as they show it. Like how like the people just put the Switch on the little tray and everything's great. Like mine was like rotating. I was okay. Let's just play content and just play it in handheld mode. But yeah, I mean it was great. Like it was crazy to be playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the train ride. Like that's a real sort of eye-opener to what the system's all about. And I did actually accidentally taste a cartridge because I was switching out games, and I always have a tendency of like putting things in between my teeth like this.
Yeah.
And I did that with a cartridge, and I was like, ah! The guy sitting next to me was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "These things taste disgusting."
What's it taste like? I haven't.
I actually know exactly what it tastes like. So if you suck your thumb, I used to suck my thumb when I was a little kid. There's a shit that they put on your thumbnail that's very bitter, and so that you don't suck on your thumb. And meanwhile, I used to just like lick it off meticulously and then get back to sucking my thumb. But that's exactly what it is. It's that same exact stuff.
How old were you?
5.
Okay. I won't take a shot at 5-year-old Sean. All right. So cool stuff. All right, let's get into the major headlines. What's been rocking the Nintendo world? Zelda DLC, we talked about that. The SNES Mini. That's kind of a bombshell that finally landed after much rumors. So what do you think about the SNES Mini?
I was pretty surprised, honestly. I didn't think they would do it, but they ended up doing it.
And not only did they do it, but Star Fox 2.
Yeah, I mean that's actually very interesting to me because you could say whatever you want about the Nintendo re-releasing old systems. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, it's $20 more than the NES Classic." Oh, well, this, that, and the other. Like, okay, let's be honest here. If you didn't hack your NES Classic, it's not like the library. I mean, the library of games was good. It was very, very solid, very good. But like Bubble Bobble, are you gonna play Bubble Bobble a lot? Balloon Fight. Do you need Balloon Fight? Like the SNES one, it's like every damn game. It's like, oh, okay, Final Fantasy 3, Super Metroid, A Link to the Past, Super Mario Kart, F-Zero, Castlevania, Super Castlevania 4, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Like Kirby. Every game, Kirby. Every game is like, okay, I'm gonna play this game. Like, so yeah, I think that's one of the big differences is just how much better, at least in my opinion, the software lineup is. So as far as the extra $20, here's something I've actually been talking about though. I think Nintendo, what they should do is, since they don't really know what the hell they're doing with the virtual console, or maybe they do and they're just not talking about it, wouldn't it be awesome if they released the SNES Classic at $80? Okay, so they're already doing that. But if you're a Switch owner, they release a cartridge form of SNES Classic for $60.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
So that way, people who want the actual hard, it seems like such a no-brainer, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I was thinking about that the other day. Like, it makes so much sense that, I mean, it's probably not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Like this has a lot more appeal to me than the SNES Mini, than the NES Mini. Because like I was way more a fan of the 16-bit era than the 8-bit era, and I've got the game lineup right now. You can't see it, but I just want to go over the games that are on here. So we've got you know, the highlights: Super Mario World, Mario Kart, Link to the Past, F-Zero, Super Metroid, Star Fox 2. So out of those six, like Star Fox 2, obviously I haven't played. F-Zero I actually haven't played.
Oh, it's pretty. It still holds up.
Yeah. Castlevania, Super Castlevania, I haven't played and I want to try that.
Ooh, so
There's
good.
so there's two Kirby games. There's Kirby Superstar and Kirby the Dream Courses. Is Dream Courses like a racing game?
Um,
Not sure.
I think it's. Let me see. Yeah. It's like an isometric racer sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
I think. No, it's golf.
What?
It's mini golf.
Dream Courses is golf?
Yeah, it's mini golf.
Okay, I don't
Looks
care.
like.
So, yeah, then there's Yoshi's Island, Contra 3, Earthbound, which are all games I haven't played yet and would want to play. What's the one in the bottom right? I don't know if you see the picture.
What?
The game on the bottom right.
What are you talking about?
Are you seeing that? Do you have our stream up?
No, I just have the chat up.
Okay. What's the last game on the list of the SNES Mini? SNES Mini game list. Because, yeah, I could care less about the hardware. Like, I just want the games. Oh, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Oh, screw that. I don't want to play that. That's too hard. Like, I don't enjoy games that are that difficult.
Yeah, it's a very, very ridiculously difficult game.
So have you played all of these? Or are there a few you're missing?
I mean, I've played them. Haven't beaten all of them, but I've played all of them.
So even Star Fox 2?
Well, no. I mean, yeah, I did play. I played one of the leaked ROMs of it, but it's not a game that I put too much time into because it's actually similar to. It has similarities with Star Fox Zero,
Yeah,
like how
'cause you
your
have the
craft.
walker.
Yeah, the walker. So I mean, I like that.
Yeah. I heard it was very good, like way better than the first one. So I'm really curious. Like it has good reviews from the community. September 29th. Then Final Fantasy 3, I haven't played that in ages. So I don't know how well that aged. And then Mega Man
Final
X.
Fantasy 3?
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing still.
Yeah. And then Mega Man X is still like one of my favorite Mega Man games. So that's a good one. Great one. And Castlevania, is this a good one to get into the series? Castlevania 4?
Arguably, many consider it to be the best
Hmm.
in the series. It's not a Metroidvania. It's a side scroller.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so good. So good.
I find it interesting.
Speaking of Castlevania.
Yeah. Yes.
That was a good segue. Speaking of Castlevania, have you watched any of the Netflix?
No, I don't even know if it's available in Canada. Let me check.
Yeah, you're such a third world country.
Yeah. Well.
I did watch it. It's hard for me to judge it. I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's very good, but it's kind of like when I'm watching it, like I like it. I like the characters and all that stuff. But I think one of the problems I have with it is if you look at, I'm not someone who hates video game adaptations of movies. And shows. I actually really like them. Like even the bad ones, even the cheesy ones like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, But to me, it's like it's just a weird genre to make into a show because it's an action platformer, and there's never really been. Well, I mean, I guess Sonic was. I don't know. I like it, but it just feels like something is just a touch off.
Yeah.
But it's very good. It's way better than I thought it would be.
I just checked. We do have it here in Canada. So it's only an hour. It's 4 episodes. So I'm actually going to binge watch. I'm going to watch it all tonight, right after this.
Yeah.
gotta grab some snacks. I actually have supposed to go to the gym. Oh well, gym can wait.
Yes. Wait.
Another thing I want to say is it's very interesting to see the relationship between Konami and Nintendo. It seems to be, coming back because like you look at the SNES Mini and you've got 2 Konami games in there. You look at the Switch, you've got 2. You got more than 1 game on the Switch, right, by Konami, or is it just 1 right now? Just Bomberman?
Well, even if you just look at Bomberman, they just added a Pyramid Head from Silent Hill and a Belmont Bomberman character for the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's actually very good fan service.
Yeah. So maybe Konami is trying to redeem themselves after being.
Well, there are heavy rumors that a Castlevania could be coming to the Switch to sort of coincide with the resurgence of the interest in the franchise with the show. I just hope they don't do a 3D one.
I feel like with the
what they should do? Remake Castlevania 3. Perfect. The show is based on Castlevania 3. Give me a proper remake of that game, because that game was actually very interesting because there's multiple paths and multiple characters.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a perfect game to give a modern makeover. Yeah. And add some extra shit to it. That'd be a winner.
Probably. It really seems like the Switch is the perfect console for this resurgence of retro gaming. Because it's still a console that has a respectable amount of power, that it's not like you're actually getting a way better screen than the 3DS, the portability, everything. I don't have to sell the Switch to you guys. And that's like perfect for retro games because you can bring them back, remaster them, and like it just plays very well alongside the Nintendo library because it's not just floating in the space of high realistic graphical games. It's standing alongside just more polished games. But
yeah, for sure.
But even the trend that we're seeing, Blaster Master Zero coming back, the retro community, like I feel the retro community really surged into a notable community in, I'd say, the last 5 years, where the Switch is kind of the first piece of hardware to be able to recognize that community and play to that community.
Yes, I fully agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if companies take the chance of reviving old franchises, popular, Contra, Castlevania, stuff like that. I mean, even Ultra Street Fighter 2 sold pretty well, and I still think that's a phenomenal game. I'm still playing it. But you know who a company is that is getting little to no credit right now, and they're one of the biggest people on the Nintendo Switch. They've announced several more games for the platform, including a gorgeous 2D fighter that I want yesterday. Nicholas. I don't know how the hell you say their name.
Yeah, the guys behind 1001 Spikes and
yes, so
Binding of Isaac, more known as Binding of Isaac.
And they're doing all their games are getting physical. Cave Story, which I haven't had a chance to play yet.
Mm-hmm.
Physical release. What the hell is the name of that fighting game that they're doing? Redout, which is coming to the Switch. It'll do 2. That's getting a physical release as well. Mm-hmm. Is this it? Blade Strangers? Blade Strangers. Have you seen this game? It looks like a 2D Dreamcast fighting game. It's gorgeous.
Blade Strangers?
It's called Blade Strangers.
And is this a new game or a port or a remake?
Yeah. No, it's a new game. It's just coming out on PS4, Switch, and Steam.
Cool. And
it has characters from Japanese indie games in it. So, the dude from Cave Story is going to be in it.
Oh, cool.
It's a gorgeous-looking fighter. I'm very excited for it. And, yeah, physical release.
Nice.
And that's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's another thing playing up to the retro community, because they like physical stuff.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I swear to God. Sorry.
You swear to God.
They They have March 21st, 2018 listed as the release date for this fighting game. I swear to God, if I don't get it this year, I'm going to have problems. I need to play this game. It looks so much fun.
That might be bad if they if Bandai actually comes. Is it Bandai that's releasing that Dragon Ball game, Dragon Ball Fighter Z? It's not coming.
So.
It's not announced for Switch yet, but God, that game looks amazing for a 2D fighter. I mean, you've seen it, but you don't care about Dragon Ball.
Yeah. No.
But it looks like a freaking cartoon.
Care about...
Like it looks so good.
Look, you can get Cave Story on sale for $26 right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I feel the last generation of gaming set up, like a lot of communities define themselves, the retro, the indie, esports. Like you have all these communities that kind of found a better identity for themselves, and the Switch is just capitalizing on all of it. Like you're getting the best of indies, you're getting these really great retro remakes or retro-like games. You've even got the esports crowd that's being catered to very heavily this year, especially you've got Pokken Tournament, Splatoon 2, ARMS, Mario Kart. I think that's it.
That's not how you say it.
Pokken
You said it wrong.
Tournament.
Pokken Tournament.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really cool. It's exciting. So let's move on in our headlines. So we've got Platinum Games, which did some teasing that Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2, and Wonderful 101 might be coming to the Switch. And I feel when you tease this, obviously, like just come out and say it. Or
right.
don't wait too long. Like they announced this earlier in the week. It's like, okay, wait a week and then announce it. Don't tease. Would you pick these up again on the Switch?
Bayonetta, yes. I never bought the Wonderful 101.
So you haven't even played it?
No. I played the demo and I wasn't a fan.
Okay, that's fair. I never beat Wonderful 101. I made it far, and then I was getting really frustrated with the controls. I had to you have to beat these guys where you have to turn into like the hammer and flip the turtles, and then, or it was something else. Anyways, I really didn't like the drawing aspect of it. So if they port it to Switch, I'm curious as to what, because I was using the right joystick to draw anyways. So like you can do it still on the Switch, and I wonder if that's what they're going to do, or if they're going to change the gameplay up just a bit. But
yeah, it does.
I would like
that would be.
Yeah, I would like to see other ports from them. Like Beautiful Joe on the GameCube is a game I never had the chance to play, and I'd be really curious to try that.
I would love a Beautiful Joe collection.
Was there more than one?
Oh, there was tons.
What?
They did a. There was Beautiful Joe 2. There was a fighting, almost like a Smash Brothers fighting game. There was a DS one.
Oh.
That's kind of tons.
It's more than one.
More than one, yeah.
Do I have Beautiful Joe? I got a bunch of GameCube games when I bought my GameCube a few years ago, but I never plugged it in, so I never actually played them. It was just like a great deal. It was $100 for a GameCube with 6 games, but one of those games was Melee, which goes for $100 around here. So I'm just like, okay, this is a no-brainer, and 2 controllers. So
I got something similar. I got the GameCube with Mario Sunshine and like 4 or 5 other games, but it was like $40, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, you're already all the games are pretty much gravy at that point.
Right.
Yeah, then other than that, we got some ARMS is getting its first DLC this week. You're getting a new character, Max Brass.
Is it free?
It is free. It is free.
Good.
Oh, and speaking of DLC, Blaster Master Zero is also getting some new DLC this week, where you can play as Shantae, and if you have the game already, you can download her for free for a limited time, and then after that you have to pay for her. So if you download her in the next week or two, it's free, and then you have to pay $1 or $2. And then in August, you can actually play the game as Shovel Knight. And it's not just a reskin. Like, they actually included unique abilities. So it actually changes the whole gameplay of the game, which is... that is the right way to integrate guest characters.
They're good. They're an awesome company, dude. Inti Creates, very friendly, very.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the way he also shared the story of how what's its face, Mighty Gunvolt Burst was created, and basically like one of the producers is like, I'm gonna make a game, and like there was no budget approved. They didn't even ask for the rights to Mighty Number Nine. He's just like, I really love the Mighty Number Nine universe, and I'm gonna make a game. So he just goes off, and then the CEO is like, oh, so he goes off to. I'm terrible with Japanese names, but he goes off to the guy who owns the IP for Mighty Number Nine.
Inafune.
Inafune. He's like, hey, my guy is kind of going off and making a game with your character. Is that cool? And he's like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's all right. And actually, turns out I think they did a much better. I know you like Mighty Number Nine, but I think this.
Yeah, no. Gunvolt is better than Mighty Number Nine, and Azure Striker is better than Mighty Number 9. Gunvolt. Gunvolt Burst is what Mighty Number 9 probably should have been. Maybe upgrade the graphics to like more modern graphics, but like the gameplay style and everything, that's what the game should have been.
Yeah. It's very mind-blowing like when I started getting into the whole like customizing your blaster, because nothing's explained to you, and it's kind of like Master Blaster too. Like nothing's really explained until you start exploring. Like in Blaster Master, I didn't realize that the more I collected these pellets, the more I got to access like these higher level weapons, until later when I was like, oh, where did I get that gun? Why can't I use it? And then I figured it out. And then in Mighty Gunvolt Burst, their name, they could work on their naming. It's the same thing. I'm just like, what am I picking up? What are all these abilities? And then you start like playing in that system to create your own like weapons. And I was just like mind blown. I'm like, oh my God, like what is a boss weak against? Because it's not a matter of like, here's 9 weapons, figure out which weapon this boss is weak against. It's like, build this weapon from scratch and good luck figuring out how to exploit a boss's weakness.
Right.
So that's crazy.
Super good game though.
Yeah. It is. All right. Any other topics? Rainway. You want to talk about Rainway?
Yeah, we can talk.
First, what is it?
So it's basically, it streams shit from your. It's an app that streams. It's an app that you download, and an app on your computer that streams stuff from your computer to your Switch games. And since it's using the power of your computer, it doesn't require anything. It doesn't require anything special. So the Switch is basically just a display. A way to display the game. But the more I think about it, the more issues I run into with this, because like, is it only going to work with Steam? Like, because if I could do everything on my computer, that, you know, if I could take anything from my computer and put it on the Switch, that would mean I could put ROMs and emulators and porno and movies and music and like anything I want. And like, you know, that's obviously the virtual console is sort of a market for Nintendo. Plus, you know, a lot of the indie games are also Steam games, and Steam always has these crazy sales where you can get games for like, you know, $1 that usually are like $20. So wouldn't they be cannibalizing their own eShop with that? Like, is there a way to regulate? Like, there's way too many questions. And of course, the main thing is that everyone just seems to be forgetting is these games nothing runs on Rainway. Nothing runs on the Switch. It is just a display function. So if your computer sucks ass and you can't run, you know, these high-end modern games, you're not going to be able to run the games, period. So I don't know. It just, I have way too many questions. But
is it officially supported by Nintendo, or is this pirated software? Like, did they?
No, it's not officially supported by Nintendo, but it is seeking an eShop release. But it's also seeking a release. That's another thing. Everyone acts like this is a Nintendo-only thing. Bullshit. They're putting it on everything. Mobile devices, anything. They're putting it on anything. Right. All it does is display. It's an app.
Okay, we should be coming back on now. chat back up here.
No, we're back.
All right. So I think it's time I start a GoFundMe campaign for a new PC.
Something. Sell some of your Super Nintendo games.
Do you want them? I'll sell you a TurboGrafx.
How much? Don't be giving me no market value bullshit. I do need one. I actually need a Turbo Duo more so because I got a bunch of import games.
Get you a TurboGrafx,
Turbo.
2 controllers, 3 games, and I'll get you an adapter, an RGB adapter. So you don't have to deal with that big clinky thing.
Much. Yeah, me. So yeah, Rainway.
Rainway, yes.
Yeah, it's not exclusive to the Switch. It's going to be on everything, mobile devices, iPads, tablets. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah. All right.
It's not a big deal to me.
So shall we go to the question round? Lightning
Yeah, that's
round.
good.
You know, I forgot. There was another big thing that kind of happened in the last month that we didn't cover at the beginning of the show.
What's that?
Well, our company made quite a big move in the gaming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. With a little site acquisition. But just wanted to point that. So anyway, let's do the lightning round.
Lightning round. Let's go.
We need a sound effect for this. We need more sound effects on this show.
So go ahead, ask your questions. What is your opinion on ports and remakes coming on both the Switch and 3DS? As long as the ports and whatnot are not taking precedent over new releases, it's fine to me. That was the problem I had with the PS4 when it first came out, was there wasn't anything new coming out. It was all ports of, definitive editions and all this shit. And it's like, okay, I don't care about that. So as long as new games are coming out, it's cool. And at the end of the day, it's not like someone's holding a gun to your head and like, you gotta buy this port. It's like, okay.
Exactly. I think it's better. I agree mostly with you, Sean. I think it's also great for the publisher that they can, and the developers. It's a win-win for them. They have access to a bigger audience, and it gives an audience, like if you already have a 3DS, it gives you the chance to either try a game, and if you don't have a Switch, later on when you get the Switch, you'll be more familiar with that developer, that publisher, that game, that IP. So it's better overall. Everybody wins.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. So Rob says, I wanted TMNT on the SNES Mini, or the SNES Mini, as some would say. What did you guys want?
That would have been great. For sure. Of course, Turtles in Time. Honestly, I'm pretty happy. I would have liked both Castlevania games. I'm a big fan of Dracula X. I think it's an awesome game. And maybe, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with it, but definitely Turtles in Time and Dracula X are 2 games I would have liked to have seen.
For me, it would have been Chrono Trigger. And I know you're going to say, oh, it's available on the DS and you can play it on the 3DS. But I feel that the SNES library was very much defined by Chrono Trigger. And to have it there alongside all these other games would have just made it that much better of a package.
That's fine. That's fair. Thoughts on the Oddworld creator dissing the Switch? Who cares? No. I thought it was fucked up how he said, the Switch led to Iwata's death.
What?
Or Nintendo. Yeah, or he said, Nintendo essentially killed Iwata because it just worked him to death. Like, okay, he had cancer, you dumbass. Like, you don't get cancer from working too hard. Like,
no.
Has-Been's got to make a name. He's probably just pissed that Oddworld sold like shit on the Wii U, but everything did.
Right, and it was delayed for like year after year. And granted, they had technical problems, but he has more to gain by bashing the Switch than by praising it at this point. And exactly. the general consensus is everybody's praising it, so I don't take his opinion too seriously.
Will you play Payday 2 with me when it comes out? Yes, I will. I can't wait for that.
Oh,
game.
right. I forgot that game was coming out to the Switch.
Yeah.
What's the release date on that?
Fall or
Yeah,
this sometime before the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's sooner than later though. I really want to play that.
Mm-hmm.
When will the next big direct be with new stuff? I would say the middle of fall, probably like September-ish. So that way you could showcase some stuff that's coming out in the spring or planned for the spring and summer of next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did talk about Castlevania with Nintendo confirming that they have 11 teams working on multiple projects. What do you think? Hope they will be. I mean, there's a lot of
sky's the limit.
There's a lot of things it could possibly be. A lot of games, for sure. Yeah, I mean, that's a question I have to like sit down and like calculate things, and I guess I don't even give a shit at this point. Like, they seem to know what they're doing with the system. They seem to have a good idea at a good direction. We haven't seen any stupidity like we saw on the Wii U with Amiibo Festival and a very lackluster Mario Party. They seem to know what they're doing. Just keep doing it, man. Just keep cranking out games, and your first year is, it's not even the first year. It's the first 9 months. Very solid. So just keep up with it.
Sean or Jason, has any of you guys played and reviewed Implosion Never Lose Hope yet? I think Sean's doing that.
That is a game. I'm currently playing that right now. Spoiler alerts, it will be a highly reviewed game. Essentially, think of Metal Gear Revengeance if Metal Gear Revengeance was like an indie game, but it's high polished. I think it's pretty good.
What was the big... Oh, you just muted yourself. Yeah, you're still muted. What'd you do? Nope, still muted. Still muted. All right, so while you're working on that, what was the big 20 Unreal Engine 4 games coming to the Switch, if you guys know? I don't. Maybe Sean will have something more to say on that when he comes back. I heard Odyssey is running on Unreal 4. I think you're right, Arshan. I think you're right on that. You back? Still says you're muted.
Oh, I hit the mute button.
You silly goose. Do you know about these 20 Unreal Engine 4 games?
No. They haven't really announced like what they are or anything, so...
All right.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. There was a question way earlier in the show that I completely missed, but it was regarding the N64 Mini. Do you think we're going to see that? Or do you think the SNES is kind of where they cut off the nostalgia?
You could, but it would be kind of interesting to see how they would do it because of the size of the controller.
Yeah.
The controller would be like much bigger than the system, so it would be interesting to see how they did it. But there's always a chance.
Yeah. There's enough games on there to make a little 20-pack or so.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly first party, but some second party.
Does Kojima have anything to do with the new Metal Gear? I don't think so.
No. You're talking about the shitty
the zombie one.
Zombie one?
Yeah.
No, God, he's got nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
That thing can burn in hell too.
What other video game shows would you want on Netflix or Hulu?
I wish like all the both Sonics. Or you mean new stuff or old stuff?
Anything.
Put them all on there, dude. I don't give a shit. I'll watch them all.
Do a Sonic reboot Sonic Sat AM, like the Saturday morning Sonic. It was dark enough. It was interesting enough. Also, going into other platforms, I would love to see like an Uncharted movie. Like those games that are so heavily driven on character and story. Just make a movie.
They have an Uncharted movie. It's called Uncharted.
Jones. What?
No, it's called Uncharted.
The game?
Yeah. The games are freaking movies.
They are. They're interactive movies with little segments of shooting.
Sonic boom, Sonic boom. Can't you feel the sun? I'll save that for the end.
Ending. Thank you. Oh, there was another thing I want to touch up on tonight, which is Sonic Forces. Some early impressions suggest that it sucks. What do you think about that?
I'm not surprised.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that like you can keep having so much hype around your games, and you can keep just putting out trash, like for the last 10 years.
It's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. And I used to be like, I'm reading all the comments, and people are like, "It's just a demo. They can make the game better." You guys are being too quick to judge. And I remember having that same argument when Sonic Lost Worlds was coming out, and people were playing, and they're like, "Oh, this isn't that great. Like, it's a little hiccupy here." I was like, "Oh, it's just a demo." You know what? I don't believe in that anymore. What you play in a demo is usually what you get. So, any little bit of hype I had for Sonic Forces just died.
Did you mean Lost World or Boom?
Lost World, because Lost World also got that treatment where it was like, Boom was a disaster. People were playing the demo and they were saying it's a disaster. Sonic Forces, people are just saying it's not that good. It sounds very familiar to Lost Worlds.
Lost World I didn't think was necessarily bad, though.
You played it?
Yeah.
Oh. But it got very mediocre reviews, though. Nobody.
I don't give a shit about it. Sonic Mania. That's all I need.
Exactly. That's all you need. Yeah, same thing with Sonic Boom. People were being very defensive. Sonic Mania is going to be pretty good because the demo is good. People are loving the demo. And it plays to the nostalgia. So I'm pretty sure Sonic Mania is going to be solid. It's not trying to be anything different. It's not trying to be flashy. It's just sticking to what it's good at.
Yeah. And I mean, the more you look at it, I don't think it could necessarily be a Genesis game. A 32X game, probably. Saturn game, definitely. But there's a lot of intricacies in the background and a lot of parallax scrolling that the Genesis wouldn't have been able to pull off. So, it's not necessarily, just a game that would be on the Genesis.
Mm-hmm. Suave asked, did they talk about Splatoon 2? Not really. It's like Splatoon 1 with more options.
So you shoot the ground in Splatoon, and you're a kid or a squid.
Mm-hmm. Or an octoling. Then.
Or an octoling.
Did you see the new the new performers, the new Squid Sisters, which aren't really Squid Sisters?
Yeah, I did.
What were they thinking?
I think the game looks good.
That one squid with no teeth.
I like it.
You like the toothless one?
I like it.
Of course you would.
I like them all. They're very creative.
Mm.
And it sucks because I'm actually going to have to buy that game because I gave away the review code. And you know exactly why I gave away the review code.
Because you don't like Splatoon?
No, because I hate review codes. I hate codes.
Oh, right, yeah. You like
if it's an indie game, fine. If I can't get it physical, fine.
Mm-hmm.
But for Christ's sakes, you know what? Give me the review code and then send me an empty box. Like an official empty box.
Really? That wouldn't annoy you to have empty boxes?
It would make me happy.
Okay.
Make me happier than what am I going to do? Make a box for Splatoon 2?
I don't have a Splatoon. I got a code for Splatoon 1, and it still bothers me to this day that I have the game on Wii U, and I don't have a box for it. But on the Switch, It's different. I'm embracing digital on the Switch, just because it's convenient. Do you think devs are being lazy for trashing the power of the Switch? You can answer.
Here's the thing about power. Okay, look at the start of a system versus the end of the system. Look at a game like look at that for any platform. A Code Veronica. Let's look at the PS2. Code Veronica to Resident Evil 4, night and day. A game like Siphon Filter that was on the PS2 to Metal Gear Solid 3, night and day. The thing is, people find ways to make make the games better, look better, and play better. So to judge the system based solely on specs is ridiculous. Look at your 3DS. There was some very rough games at the start, and then you have a lot of very highly polished games, especially these JRPGs that are coming out, the Dragon Quest, Ever Oasis, Metroid, Samus Returns. Like it is lazy. It's just an excuse, because at the end of the day, like I've said a million times, if a calculator came out and it sold 50 million units and it played games, people would put games on the calculator.
It's one thing to
simple as that.
It's one thing to to complain about it, but publishers or developers that are bashing on the Switch for power when their goal is to make a very high performing game just have no bit like that is not what the Switch is about. That is not what their market is. So just shut your mouth.
And it's not It's not like this is like brand new information. The damn system has been out since March.
Right.
It's not like surprise.
And I think it's very good to have a diversity in the ecosystem. Like if you want to make a very graphically impressive, demanding game, go develop for the Xbox One X, whatever the acronym, whatever it's called now. Like that's where you go. You want your power and all your teraflops? Go develop on the Xbox One X.
I mean, look at a game like Super Mario Galaxy 2. Like that was running on I'm totally stealing this line from Spawn Wave. That was running on basically an overclocked GameCube, but it looked as good as a PS3 game. A game like The Conduit. Yeah. The Conduit could have easily been mistaken for an Xbox 360 game on the Wii. It's like, if you try, you can make it work. It's always has been that way. It always will be that way. It's just...
And if you have troubles, reach out to other people in the industry. Other people are having successes, Like maybe you just need help in optimizing your code or development. So reach out.
Maybe you just suck.
That's what I was getting at. Thanks for being more blunt. All right. Anything else before you wrap up?
My eye itches.
Wonderful. So thank you, everybody, for joining us back here on Class vs. Cast on this wonderful Sunday evening. We'll be back next week. What do we got for you guys on this chat? You know what? If you haven't checked out NintendoEnthusiast.com in the last month, do check it out. We've revamped it. And tomorrow, I'm hoping all of our other enthusiast sites are going to be revamped. So that includes Xbox Enthusiast, PlayStation Enthusiast. We've also got a Film Enthusiast, a TV Enthusiast. They're all going to look like what Nintendo Enthusiast looks now. So we're coming back with some really fun projects this year. And if you're not into the Enthusiast brand, well, hey, check out Destructoid. That's a good site too.
It's not bad.
Yeah. So other than that, I don't think there's anything really to look forward to too much on this channel. There's some videos in the queue that Eric's putting together, but I have no idea when those are coming out.
Well, we'll have whenever that will probably be next week. I didn't even look at the embargo, but I know we'll have a Splatoon 2 video review. So
yeah,
that's something.
Yeah. What are your plans for the big 100 podcast episode? Well, we got 11 weeks to figure that out. So we'll see what happens. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Until then, keep it classy, as Sean would say.
Keep it classy. Can you feel the sunshine? Does it brighten up your day? Don't you feel that sometimes you just need to run away? Reach out for the sunshine. Forget about the rain. Just think about the good times and they will all come back again.